Pakistan-backed terror module has been dismantled in a major multi-state operation led by the Special Cell of Delhi Police and central agencies. 5 operatives have been arrested with the seizure of bomb-making materials as police say an ISIS-inspired terror nexus has been exposed with its roots across the country. Here is a deep dive. The Delhi police, in coordination with central intelligence agencies, conducted raids across multiple states that has led to the arrest of 5 individuals suspected of being part of an ISIS-inspired terror module. The module is alleged to have been planning terror attacks, including the preparation of improvised explosive devices, possibly chemical bombs, with links to Pakistani handlers. The suspects are under investigation and a variety of incriminating materials have been seized from their hideouts. So who are these suspects? Here is what is known so far about the 5 suspects. Suspect 1 is Ashar Danish, who is arrested from Ranchi. IED making materials were found in his hideout and he is considered the mastermind of the cell who was in contact with a Pakistani handler. Suspect 2, Aftab, was arrested in Delhi. He is a resident of Mumbai and was allegedly involved in planning terror acts and IED preparations. Suspect 3, Abu Bakr, alias Sufia, was arrested in Delhi. He also hails from Mumbai and is suspected to be a key planner of this module. Meanwhile, 2 unnamed suspects have been arrested from Madhya Pradesh and Telangana respectively, and they are currently being questioned. So what's the alleged plot? The hideouts have yielded IED building materials. There are indications that some had access or knowledge of chemical explosives. Seized materials include copper sheets, hydrochloric acid, nitric acid, sulfur powder, ball bearings, strip wires, motherboards, circuit components, safety gloves, and respiratory masks. The module is said to be ISIS-inspired, possibly with links to Al-Qaeda in the Indian subcontinent. Investigations so far have revealed that these suspects were in contact via social media with handlers in Pakistan. The accused are suspected to have been planning terror attacks in several parts of Bharat, including Delhi NCR.
इनका प्लान टूफोल्ड था. पहला कि इनको एक खिलाफत स्टाइल का एक ग्रुप तैयार करना था और जिसकी अपनी एक छोटी सी लैंड होती है, उसके कुछ रिक्रूटेड लड़के होते हैं, उनकी अपनी टीम होती है जिसे लश्कर कहते हैं. और उसके बाद जो एक डिस्टॉर्टेड कंसेप्ट है इनका अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ इस्लाम का, उसके बेसिस पे जिहाद गज़वाए हिंद टाइप का करना था एक, प्लस कुछ टारगेटेड किलिंग्स भी इनको टास्क की जानी थी जो इनको कैरी आउट करनी थी.
Now, the operation appears to have been a coordinated set of raids and arrests across several states, supported by intelligence gathering by Delhi Special Cell and central agencies. The arrest of individuals allegedly capable of making IEDs and chemical devices, especially with interstate presence and Pakistan linkages, is likely to have prevented a series of attacks. The operation shows cooperation among state law enforcement and intelligence agencies. It underscores improved capacity in detection and foiling terror modules. Since contact with handlers in Pakistan and radicalization via social media are alleged, there will be a focus on tracking recruitment, online propaganda, and cross-border influences. Arresting 5 suspects doesn't necessarily mean that the terror module is fully dismantled. There may be sleeper elements and supporters. The special cell has said that the crackdown will continue. Shifting focus on RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat's 75th birthday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi lauded the RSS chief, describing him as the best sarsang chalak in the last century. PM Modi praised Mohan Bhagwat for his transformative leadership, navigating the RSS through complex times while staying true to its core values. He talked about Mohan Bhagwat's commitment to Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat and his role in reshaping the education sector. Here are the key takeaways of the Prime Minister's note or the op-ed that he penned. Bhagwat's tenure has been the most transformative for the RSS. His life has been dedicated to societal transformation, harmony and fraternity. He embodies intellectual depth and empathetic leadership of the nation first. He steered the RSS through complex currents, never compromising on its core. Mohan Bhagwat is a living example of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Mohan Bhagwat is a strong votary of Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat. He is a firm believer in diversity and celebration of different cultures. He connects naturally with the youth, integrated the youth into the RSS. I wish Mohan Bhagwat a long, healthy life in service of Ma Bharati. Let's go straight across to someone who not only understands the Sangh but also understands how it's the clear umbilical cord and this cord that connects it with the BJP. Professor Gurumurthy is with us. Namaskaram, sir. Thank you very, very much for your time. So, should this op-ed now clear all doubts whether all is well between the two of them, PM Modi and Mohan Bhagwat? Sir, you're on mute.
There is something wrong between them is not the creation of either of them. It is the creation of the media. It is the creation of people who do not know RSS and its allied organizations. I recall Professor Achin Vanaik. He wrote in 1990s that there has not been enough understanding of RSS and there has been no scholarly study of RSS by people who disagree with RSS. There is only abuse of RSS. With the result, anything relating to RSS and BJP is always a nightmare for people who comment on them. As someone who has been in and out of RSS, and I have been associated with various fields from journalism to business to politics to culture, I can say that they have a perfect alignment as to how to function parallelly and also interconnectedly. So this has evolved over decades. It's not a creation by any particular individual. It is an institutionalized virtue and discipline. I have seen it actually being built and I have seen it actually functional. Now, Mohan Bhagwat being praised by Modi has a contextual relevance. It is not that he has done it without a context. He praised the RSS work, not without a context. RSS is completing 100 years an organization which has faced the mightiest adversaries, greatest challenges to its physical existence, bans, and still maintained its core way of functioning, not getting too much into politics, but at the same time not ignoring politics, and creating separate political and other wings and allowing them to exist autonomously and still maintaining a normative relationship between them. It's a miracle. Never like this has happened anywhere in the world. It could happen in India because Hinduism has these virtues. It can function with any number of gods, any ways of worship, any number of languages. You know, RSS integrated that society's virtue into its functioning. So, RSS is something which has to be studied by people who do not agree with RSS and who do not know RSS. They have to study it.
But sir, in your long experience, you would understand and you would admit that the RSS also has evolved. Now, there is a reason why the Prime Minister has credited Mohanji Bhagwat, the third longest serving Sarsanga Chalak of the RSS. My memory serves me right. Guruji Golwalkar about 30 plus years, 32 years. Balasaheb Devras, 2 decades, 20 years. And Mohan Bhagwat is 16 years and counting. The RSS has also evolved. It has also modernized to a certain extent.
No, don't use the word modernity. RSS has set out to deal with the society. The society has got certain problems. In fact, the Topan Tengdi, who was one of my great mentors,
Yes.
he used to say that RSS has come into being to address certain specific problems in the society. Like there is an injury here, and a scab develops. That is RSS. Once the injury is cured, the RSS will disappear. It will merge into the society. The idea is the society should be strong, functional, vibrant, not modernity. In fact, I believe in multiple modernity theory, which has been expounded by a German sociologist. West is not the single source of modernity. So let us keep the idea of modernity different. We modernize in our own way, if the word modernity is to be accepted.
Right.
So RSS evolves as you deal with the society also tells you, tells the RSS, you have to be like this. So it is mutual learning between the RSS and the society.
But Professor Guru.
Why Mohan Bhagwat?
Ah.
That is the most important thing. The RSS has passed through all the turbulence and faced all adversities. It has shone in adversity. But it is now functioning in a very favorable atmosphere. That is also a challenge to the RSS. That RSS should not get too near power or too far away from it. If you get too near power, what happened to the Sarva Seva Sangh, which the great Congress leaders started, will happen to the RSS also. That you should not be dependent on state power. You should not be dependent on state largesse. You should maintain your independent identity. That is where one of the Swayamsevak becoming the tallest leader of the world. And he had achieved all that the RSS wanted to achieve. And attracted the attention of all the Swayamsevaks. But still, Mohan Bhagwat maintained the identity of RSS and the dignity of the institution of Sarsanga Chalak. That is the greatest challenge a Sarsanga Chalak faced.
Agreed, but Professor Saab, you would also agree that post June 2024, there was a huge conversation that perhaps the ways of the BJP and the ways of the RSS were going divergent, and the RSS had very little role to play in the Lok Sabha elections, and because of which the BJP suffered a reversal of fortunes. JP Nadda ji's comment कि हम अपने आप में सक्षम हैं was also brought to the fore by many who were speaking. Then recently this entire retirement age of 75, 75 में retire हो जाते थे is what Sarsang Chalak said, although it was an off the cuff reference, but it was indicated as a hint. I am turning 75, you are turning 75, let's retire. And then he said, no, I am not retiring, I am going to serve as long as I can. So, and then hum hote, if it was left to us, we wouldn't have taken so much of time to elect a new party president. Conversations are saying that things were not going, as two wheels should function together in a car or on a railway track. One was perhaps causing friction for the other. Is that true, false, or is all of that now settled?
I will address the first question of 75 years. I was an eyewitness to how it happened also within the RSS. The RSS, there was a certain stagnation in the leadership, as a result of which a youthful organization had leaders who were not looking youthful in their whole demeanor. So the RSS decided that because in RSS everybody functions as long as they are asked to function. So a rule was devised at 75, anyone can opt out of the work, because in RSS once you become a worker, you are a worker till you die. So the 75-year rule was decided so that somebody can decide 75, please leave. Then the RSS will take a decision whether they should leave or not. This was the decision that was taken sometime in 1997-98. But this was not to be applied to the BJP, was made very clear, because BJP is not a youthful organization, it's a political party, it needs experience. So, I will give you the first example of how this was not applied to the BJP. In 2004, Advani ji was elected as the party president again, when he was 77. So, the 75 rule was never applicable to the BJP. It was interlinked by the media. And when 75 means it should apply to, and when Advani and Murli Manohar Joshi and others were asked to be the mentors, That was because of generational change.
Right.
It had nothing to do with the age. But that they happened to be more than 75 was taken as the index of they being asked to become mentors because they are past 75. No. There was a generational change in the BJP, and that is one of the reasons why the BJP is functional, which the Congress is not able to do. Understand one thing.
Right.
An organization has to be active, it has to be vibrant. Generational change must take place. The BJP achieves it. Of course, there is a wider consultation. Everything happens by consultation in RSS and BJP and between them also.
Okay, sir, limited time, so final question. Does this also perhaps put to rest all these worries about the congressification of the BJP? When I say congressification is, big party, too big, and also bringing in co-opting a lot of people who are not core to the Sangh and the BJP's ideology. So an ideological dilution of the BJP happening, functionality-wise also high command, then of course similar structures of what happened to the Congress and then eventual decay. Will that now be stemmed, or will there be a course correction there?
In 1980, when the BJP was formed, there was in fact a philosophical congressification of BJP also. Which the RSS genuine secularism, Gandhian socialism. So the BJP, RSS also allows the BJP to learn. It doesn't teach. But it says this is not acceptable, but you can learn. The BJP learned the lesson. So this is what sustains their relationship.
Right.
That I am the teacher, you should listen. They will break. This is our view. But you experiment with your view. Because this is a subject which I have discussed with Atalji also. It is unless, like Dr. Vanayak said, somebody studies the RSS way of doing things very carefully, very intensely, does research, you will not be able to fathom the relationship between the two of them.
Well, we'll leave it to the detractors to study, but you have addressed a few concerns and a few conversations that have been doing the rounds around the 75 retirement age, Modi versus Mohan, the other things are happening, good or not. And at least it's a happy day in terms of his birthday, and may, Prabhu give him a long life and perhaps many more years in seva as he has wished to do, continue to serve Ma Bharti, and the Prime Minister has wished him the same. Professor Gurumurthy ji, always a pleasure speaking with you. Look forward to more conversations in the near future soon. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Namaskaram. Let's get a move on, viewers. Well, there is a famous dialogue in a movie which says, Sarkar to chali gayi, Sarkar tumhari hai, par system hamara hai. Now, what's happening in the educational system? Rajiv Malhotra and Vijaya Vishwanathan in Snakes in the Ganga, as their book, had said that one of the biggest institutions that's churning out CEOs and great minds for the world, and especially for the West and especially for corporate America, is the Indian Institute of Technology, or the IIT institutions. Now, there's a fresh controversy that has raised these questions of, have the IITs of Bharat been infiltrated by this ecosystem? And here's why. The Indian Institute of Technology, Bombay, is facing criticism over a poster for an upcoming workshop on South Asian capitalism, which has gone viral for depicting Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah, and Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath under the caption, "We Fool You." The two-day workshop, co-organized by UC Berkeley, IIT Bombay and the University of Massachusetts Amherst, is scheduled for September 12th and 13th and is aimed at exploring how capitalist accumulation is socially structured across South Asia. In the 1911 version, the second tier, labeled "We Fool You," featured religious leaders from different faiths, highlighting how religion was used to justify inequality. The IIT Bombay linked poster replaced these figures with Bharat's top elected leaders. IIT Bombay clarified that it had no role in the poster. The IIT has now come out and said no one from IIT Bombay is attending the conference, instructed organizers to remove the flyer online. The institute was not consulted about the flyer. We are deeply shocked and upset by its content. Ceasing association with involved UC Berkeley and the UMA facility. But the question remains, Is this ecosystem with baseless and anti-India narrative still permeating not just global but even top Bharatiya institutions? Nikhil Jain, political analyst with us. Harshal Mehta, columnist, regular columnist with News18 and First Post with us at this point. And Abhijit Majumdar, author and journalist also with us. My namaste and Jain to everybody. Thank you for your time. Harshal, you've picked up this whole thread and said that this is a systematic deconstruction or dilution of the ethos of certain institutes, and many have even asked, what are humanities and these kind of studies doing in institutes of technology? Your thoughts, why do you make certain observations?
So these I have been observing from last almost 2-3 years, that IITs, which are the center for excellence in engineering and technology, have been turned into the hubs for the humanities. And as you can see, for the humanities, this is one of the conference that they have organized. And this was IIT Bombay saying that it is not at all involved. Then why on the IIT Bombay's initiatives website, NPEI, this poster was put? This poster was put on the official website of the NPEI. Now, this is the initiative which is started by the Center for Liberal Studies in the IIT Bombay, and the organizer's name was written as Professor Arush Kapadia, who is a UK citizen. Now, the question comes, why a UK citizen is organizing such kind of conferences? Again, it says the South Asia, but it depicts only and only India. It depicts HM Shah, PM Modi and UPCM Yogi, but no one from Pakistan, no one from Bangladesh, no one from Nepal, no one from any other country. Then why? That is my first question. The second question is that Professor Arush Kapadia, if we see what he is researching on, last 10 years, he has published 5 articles, and 3 of them are in magazines, 2 of them are in the research paper. Now, IITs have certain requirements to publish certain research papers every year. Why this particular professor is not publishing any papers and still being a faculty of IIT Bombay? That is the one observation. The another observation is that one another faculty of IIT Bombay on the Twitter gave a call for the class war. No war, but the class war. Why? So these are the kind of people who have been systematically infiltrated to the IITs, who are not doing any research. And again, the person who gave this call of the class war was actually not writing any single author paper in last 5 years. Now, why IIT is compromising their standards to just have the diversity, just to have the humanities, just to have these professors? Why not a systematic investigations in these professors, like their work, what they are doing outside of IIT Bombay, inside IIT Bombay? Right. They are not even producing any contribuable research paper. Show me the research paper. It's not Correct. Present.
So these are people who don't have academic credence, but they are pushing a particular motive. I just want to ask you, Harshal, has IIT Bombay unblocked you yet?
No, IIT Bombay, after questioning this, has blocked me, and I have been blocked from accessing IIT Bombay and questioning them on this. So, IIT Bombay, on their official statement, says that the post was they are acknowledging the post, but at the same time they are blocking me. So that's kind of ironical.
Well, it is their freedom to block you, but whether it is in their wisdom to block you, that jury is out. There are many who are supporting you, others who are saying that you have waded into and pushed IIT Bombay into a controversy they wanted to avoid. This is so small, nobody would have noticed, but that's how it is. The intent is what's the question. Why do something if your intent is not nefarious, Nikhil? It's supposed to be South Asia, right? And you are supposed to talk about all of them. The fooling is happening in Pakistan, in Sri Lanka, in Dhaka, and also in Nepal. We are seeing all around us. But that's not reflective there. So that's why questions being raised. Your thoughts?
So Anand, I completely agree that when you're talking about the incidence of South Asian capitalism, you should be talking about Bangladesh, Pakistan and other countries in South Asia as well. And I think this is a gross oversight on the parts of, lack of sight on the part of the organizers of this program. But to take pot shots at academics for talking about something that needs to be talked about. See, whatever system you have, whether it's capitalism, communism, socialism, there would always be critiques. There would always be some good points. And the reason we find out our ways to the good parts from each of the systems is when we we criticize the wrong parts in each of the systems. For somebody to now come and say, oh, what are the humanities departments of the world are doing? Because I'm sorry, Mr. Mehta, I don't like to make it personal in news debates, but I have to talk about, since we're talking about this topic and Mr. Mehta has raised this, I want to read a part of his tweet. He says, humanities department, I'm sorry, it was on a news article, some people were saying that humanities departments are adding a net negative value to society. I don't think Mr. Mehta has said that, but some other people who've been commentators on this.
There has been a concern that's been raised with these humanities department and what they're trying to do, because in some cases in academic institutions they have been and this has been chronicled in Snakes in the Ganga by Rajiv Malhotra and Dr. Vijay Vishwanathan.
I agree. I agree with Mr. Nikhil on this part that there should be criticism. But I am asking, he is an academician. Where is the research paper? Show me research papers.
See, the credence for an academic also is there. The IIT itself has a certain criteria. You have to write a research paper every year. This person's not written a single paper.
See, first of all, I have not verified. I have not verified those allegations.
That's his claim. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I have not verified those allegations, so I'm not going to go into them. Whether there is a requirement for a humanities professor to be writing as many number of research papers, or is it just teaching classes, or whatever the requirements are.
It's stipulated by IIT that their professors, for them to have a certain credence and credentials, they have to be doing writing one research paper every year.
Anand, what I've seen as a pattern across most universities. Anand, what I've seen as a pattern across most universities are that there are such credence requirements in order to get a promotion. That if you're an assistant professor and you want to be an associate professor, you must have this many number of research papers, this many number of internationally published research papers, and so on and so forth. But that be taking the argument way too.
This person is associate professor.
Sir,
okay. No, but if you want
associate
a promotion,
professor के बाद you want a professorship, you want a deanship. I am not going to get into what IIT Bombay's requirements for an associate professor or professor are. I want to talk about a larger issue, that when somebody says that humanities departments are adding a net negative value to society, that is an absolutely obnoxious and ridiculous statement to make. Let me remind all those people that our Prime Minister has a humanities education, our Leader of Opposition has a humanities education, our Finance Minister has a humanities education, and around the world, the leaders, the public policy makers are people usually who come from a humanities background. That may be political science, history, economics. Some people are questioning that, and that's very problematic.
I think it's being lost there. The use of humanities to try and infiltrate and corrupt thinking in a particular manner and guide it in a particular manner and push certain neo-communist ideals, etc. is the concern that's being raised. Ideally, Abhijit Majumdar, thank you for your patience. Let me just bring in also.
Just 20 seconds.
Okay,
so that
20 seconds of your time.
Anand, if an ideology is strong enough, it will fight for itself. Communism has shown around the world that it fails again and again and again. Even if somebody is trying to infiltrate with neo-communist ideas, I don't think that's going to stand the test of time. You will have critics on both sides. They will battle it out, and we in India should not be blocking criticism and debate. We are a land of Shankaracharya.
It's not about debate. Tarka Shastra is part of our culture. There's nothing wrong. Tarka should be done, but not in a covert way like these people have done. What's been done here is, you're talking South Asia capitalism, you and me will agree that this government has been far more socialist in terms of its welfare policies because of the debt that we are being running because of social welfare. No, a nation where food security is being given to 80 crore people cannot be called capitalist in its nature.
But
and socialism is enshrined in the preamble forcefully, or otherwise that's another argument.
See, and that's the point we're discussing about it. We're critiquing. Usually you and I stand on the opposite ends of the political spectrum.
The academic credence and also perhaps the intentional behind this person organizing this with this kind of a thought process itself stands to question and perhaps belie the reason why an humanity should be.
You say that we are going towards a socialist.
Okay, one second. Abhijit Majumdar.
No, first of all, this is not an oversight. This is a pure setting of narrative, because this chap who's been organizing this, Anush Kapadia, he seems to be a repeat offender. He has, he tried to organize something in 2023, which with this professor, DU professor, called Achin
Achin Vanaik.
Vanaik. So Achin Vanai, his stance is, that Hinduism is essentially anti-Islam. His stance on suicide bombings, he says, understand one thing, it expresses above all the determination not just to kill, but the determination to die. So, this is not a one-off issue. This is a pattern. And, this is the 2.5 front war, Anand, we have been talking about. If we choose to stay in denial, as the ruling government itself and its machinery and its bureaucracy seems to have chosen, then, nobody can help it. But please understand, these are strings that tie from one continent to the other, from one university to the other. We are talking about debates and arguments and healthy whatever. How many times has UC Berkeley or any of these, Massachusetts and all these universities, have they had debate or, have they systematically criticized, taken down the opposing ideologies? Have they done anything on, political Islam or, hard left socialist, this thing? Anti-nationalism ideologies? Have they done it even once? No, they haven't, because see, one has to. And by the way, there is a very interesting point in Harshil's tweet, that this Anush Kapadia runs something, works under, runs something called the New Political Economic Initiative.
Yeah, NPEI.
NPEI.
And where the funds for that come from?
35 crores from Ford Foundation. Now just look at the kind of people in India and elsewhere that Ford Foundation or Maxese have been funding for, Omidyar or Maxese, Ford Foundation. The kind of people, organizations, social networks that they have been funding. Or for instance, USAID. USAID has been accused of funding, atheism in Nepal. Promoting atheism in Nepal. They have spent hundreds of, millions of dollars. And the same, Nepal. Now just look at Nepal. Behind Nepal's, this upsurge or this whole coup is one NGO called Hami Nepal. I'm not saying that, I'm not saying that this is a, CIA funded, whatever. Registered in 2015 and has done some work during COVID, etc. Has so much power to pull down an entire government, make the PM flee. Same with Bangladesh. Look at the organizations that worked. It was, if anybody thinks that Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, all these are spontaneous people's power, people's uprising, they are fooling themselves. It cannot be, things on that scale is impossible to pull off unless there is meticulous.
I understand, but we are digressing. I know
amount of funding.
It eventually
so
snowballs.
Part of the 2.5
snowballs.
war, Anand.
And
we have to be very, very careful. There is, nobody is against debates. Nobody is against. And look at how the far left. Or, what happens when you are speaking against, trying to have an open debate against the far left. Look at Charlie Kirk's assassination last night. I mean, he was going from university to university to have a debate.
Right.
Yes, he had conservative right-wing views, but he was not asking people to kill others. Yes, he also had, he was against Indian immigrants. That is his stand.
No.
For that to be shot in the neck.
Here is the thing. To have discourses, to have a certain level of advocacy, to say something is one part. but to try and construct a particular narrative that is perhaps eventually going to create, situations of discord with the current system, with a particularly devious political innuendo and an ideological innuendo, cannot be classified as ideological discourse. That's the argument that's being made. Viewers, yes, Harshil, and then Nikhil will come.
My another point that has got lost, which I raised in a follow-up tweet also. You can see below the "We Fool You" there is something which depicts as the CRPF Jawans, depicts Indian Army Jawans,
I was
and
noticing
Indian
that.
police. They have said that we shoot at you. So are we questioning Indian military's abilities in universities?
It's not even the military, it's the symbolic deliberate attempt at trying to show only Bharatiya people in uniform. Correct. And also leaders.
And it is clearly
look at the picture, viewers. If you can stay on this for a bit. I know the upper part
we shoot
where
at you.
Yeah. See, it's police personnel, it's CRPF, it's the armed forces. They are the ones who.
So are we questioning them, their integrity, that they are working for capitalists? And if you see, no one can say that these are just the normal people they have shown from Pakistan or something, because below this cartoon they have clearly mentioned capital map of India. So what they are propagating, what the IIT Bombay's NPEI initiative is funding.
No, even if they are not directly involved, let's try and say, if you want to give IIT Bombay the benefit of doubt that this was done in a partnership, but shouldn't they be looking at who they are entering into a partnership with and what is the intent? What is the idea behind this? Because this is all symbolism and it's being done with a devious idea. I'm not somebody who would ever say that there should not be debate and discourse, multiple ideologies. Campus is perhaps the hotbed where these kind of ideologies should be debated, discussed, etc. True. But Nikhil, you would also agree that this is nefarious. This intent here is not sanguine.
Anand, I'm not going to say that the intent is nefarious. Certainly, I do completely agree with you that other South Asian leaders should have also been placed. But to call it nefarious and for Mr. Mehta to here sit and question, how can you question the army? Mr. Mehta, I wasn't indicating that you have the basic decency and courtesy of discussion.
I've just got one basic rule. Allow the others to speak and then you please rebut. Let's not speak over each other and heckle. All right, please, my request. Thank you. Yes, Nikhil, make your point.
Yeah, so first of all, a point was made earlier that these universities never have any programs that may be anti-Islamic or anti-communism. That's absolutely not right. Sarah Wolf, Secular Power Europe, I specifically looked for programs or events or courses being taught at UC Berkeley. It's a lecture on Europe and Islam. It deals with how Islam shapes and confronts secular identity. That's a direct critique of Islam, a critique that a lot of people from the right wing or the BJP would agree. I'm not going to pass any comments on that. Then there's The Rise and Demise of World Communism. That's a book talk. Happened at UC Berkeley, 2021. See, these universities, the reason these universities fare so much better than our Indian counterparts is because they don't try to stifle dissent or any idea that is going against the standard norm. And to say that you can never raise questions on the military,
I think these discussions across the board, across the political spectrum and ideological spectrum are conducted even on our campuses. There is I've been a part of that.
IIT Bombay has distanced itself. Anand, that's the problem. IIT Bombay is already distancing
There's a reason why IIT Bombay has distanced. It's the visual symbolism which is of a devious, nefarious intent. If you want to discuss capitalism in South Asia, you discuss capitalism in South Asia. But look at the symbolism, Nikhil, and you yourself. See, you may not.
I'm just saying. Counter it.
No, it's not about countering. This is not done with an intent to try and have a discussion or a discourse. This is done with an intent to deliberately defame and to try and create an imprint that these people are by default to blame. That is judgmental and that is nefarious. That's my point. If you look at the screen to your left and if you see what they have put out there.
And also, I would also like to point out
this is deliberate.
These are clearly Amit Shah, Narendra Modi,
correct.
and Yogi.
Why do that? You know what the 1911. You know what
they're the ones in power.
No. You know what the 1911 images show. That is supposed to have religious heads across all religions. And it should have had a padri, a mullah, a saint, and a Buddhist monk. Perhaps if you were to represent all of Southeast Asia religions, that's not been done.
have gone for political leadership instead of
then
the
don't
clergy.
call it South Asia if you are going to only focus on Bharat.
You go and
That's what's been done.
You
Harshil.
go and talk about
No,
it.
look
on
at the whole
debate.
title. Why call it South Asia if you are going to only focus on Bharat?
and even right now,
Has the mullah of Pakistan been put there? Has anybody from
No, first of all, they have not
Jamaat-e
put any
Islami put
religious
there?
figure.
Has there
First
been
of all, they have not put any religious
has a Buddhist monk been put? Because Buddhism is rules.
But there's no religious figure.
Rules.
Anand, there's no religious
The
figure. There are only
1911
political
part,
leaders.
in this part of the pillar, it is 1911 if you look at it, it is religious entities. If you want to put leaders, then you should have put all the leaders there.
I am
You have not
agreeing
put
with that
where
criticism.
I don't see a failed marshal there.
No,
I don't
no,
see
no.
it.
I agree with that
I don't see an
Anand,
interim advisor there, a former CEO of Grameen Bank there. I do not see a former prime minister who's also now this one of Sri Lanka there. There is nobody there. There is no representation of all of South Asia there. Why? And below, look at the people in uniform. They are all people who are wearing Bharatiya outfits. We shoot at you. What is the
I
logic
disagree
of
with
this?
that. The uniforms of Pakistan and Bangladesh look quite similar.
So,
To say-
but soldiers shoot at you. We shoot at you.
Arey,
You
so you
have
disagree
broad
with
brushed
that.
the entire armed forces are people who shoot at people.
I'm not agreeing with it. I'm saying let's have that dissent
No,
and
then you
discourse.
should. No, these are
See,
not.
these
this
universities
is not
also
a-
have.
this
These
is-
universities
this
also
is
have
not
talks
a fair-
against the
This is
military
not a
industrial
fair
complex in the
debate
US.
because this is an entity supposed to have who's supposed to say I'm going to encourage discourse. I don't have a position. Here he is coming with an already preconceived position and to try and imprint it in the minds of the young and impressionable students. No. Yes,
These are
yes,
university
Harshit.
students,
Yes,
not
Harshit.
school
Yes,
students.
Harshit. No, but they're still young and
would not
impressionable.
discuss-
Come on. Yes.
I would not discuss and comment what goes on the foreign university, but about this particular poster, I knew that the doubt will come that this is look like Pakistani or Bangladeshi uniform. But if you just scroll below, there is clearly written capitalism map of India. Then why Pakistani soldiers are there?
No. Why call it a South Asia discourse if you are only going to talk about Bharat? Then say it is about Bharat only. No. Then this veiled deceit should not be allowed. I have to wind up.
When it comes to the Indian subcontinent, they call it South Asia.
Correct. No. But then it should be
This
Bharat.
is the coinage of CIA itself.
No, this is that's why I'm saying this is agenda driven and this is nefarious in intent. We got to wind up on that note. Thank you to all our panelists. Quickly moving on, and this is very. I've been looking forward to this conversation. The trailer of Ajay, the untold story of a yogi, is having its moment online. Within just a week, the video has crossed 14 million views on YouTube and continues to pick up traction. More than 2 crore views and hits that the trailer has had across social media in just about 4 days of release. We are given to understand that's what they claim. The political biopic style drama is based on Shantanu Gupta's book, and I have a copy of it, The Monk Who Became the Chief Minister, and it's a biographical on Yogi Adityanath to be released on the 19th of September. Let's go straight across to Anand Joshi, who's playing the lead character as Ajay, and Ravindra Gautam, the director of the movie, and Shantanu Gupta, the author. So they are the ones who are with us right now. Let's go straight across to them. Shantanu, can you hear me? Anand?
Yes, I can.
And Ravindraji, namaste. Hi Anand, congratulations. You look fantastic. The trailer itself is very exciting to watch. So let me first ask you, when did they first approach you to play the lead? And what was your reaction when you first realized you have to play Ajay Bisht or Yogi Adityanath?
Well, since you have asked me about the timeline, I would say once they finished reading or writing the whole screenplay, they reached out to me. And I'd already read the book earlier, at least my dad did. The curiosity of knowing that, about this incredible journey of a simple man from the mountains, from the Uttarakhand, where my family also comes from. Then to becoming a monk, and I think a very consistent question which we all had in our minds, that why a monk decided to become a chief minister, so active in the politics. And I think, this film precisely answers all this and captures this beautiful journey. More than beautiful, I think incredible journey. Like, it's very unusual.
Ravindraji, your thoughts, when did the movie come to you? And, it had a few stumbling blocks. The CBFC was not very convinced. What happened there?
Yeah, that though I also don't know. I don't think anyone in a team knows why the CBFC was a stumbling block, because the High Court saw the film and they ordered CBFC to release the film without a single cut.
So you didn't have to cut anything?
No, we didn't cut not even a single shot.
So if you didn't have to cut anything, then why was the CBFC not very sure whether this should be released?
So that's a mystery to us also.
Shantanu also joins us. He's got the Yogi Ji look, Anant, the one that you're sporting, the bald head. He's got that, and he's wearing a shirt similar to Ravindra.
One of us had to.
That's true.
So did you go bald on this, Anand? Did you really?
Yes, I did. Yeah, that was we actually. I mean, that was Ravindra sir's call to capture that. Like, he was completely non-negotiable when it came to that particular scene, like the ritual of taking sannyas. And I think kudos to our whole crew who managed to take this in one shot. And I actually went bald and shaved my head for that scene to take sannyas.
And that was Anand. That was on camera. Like, that is. He getting bald
That's exactly what I'm saying.
That's
exactly what
that's
I'm
on camera.
Yeah.
So you shot it on camera. So the transition happens. And is this chronicled? Is that true? Like I see in the trailer where the mother, she tries to hold on to her son and then bows to the yogi.
Yeah.
That's the very symbolic sign of acceptance, isn't it? Ki mera beta ab yogi ban gaya hai, so he deserves the respect of someone who's done tyag of all worldly affairs. So he's no longer my son. Yeah. So did that actually happen with Yogi Ji, Shantanu, since you chronicled it?
Exactly. So we have taken some cinematic liberty, like how it happened. So I think what mother said multiple times, I met mother multiple times. Now she's very sick, father is no more. उनके शब्दों में कहूँ तो कि भाई हमने बहुत कोशिश करी कि इसको लेके जाएं, तेरा जीवन नहीं है, हमने लड़ाई भी करी, झगड़ा भी करा महंत बदनाथ से, लेकिन जब उन्होंने कहा कि भाई आपके तो बहुत बेटे हैं, इस बेटे को समाज के लिए गिव दिस सन फॉर द कंट्री फॉर द धर्मा, देन वी बाउड डाउन एंड तब हमने उनको भी महाराज मान लिया और तब से हम उनको महाराज जी बोलते हैं. So he's a yogi for us also. So yeah, we have cinematically Ravindra shown is the way he has shown, and which came out beautifully. The whole set, the whole unit was crying when that shot was happening.
Yeah.
So how was it for you, Anand, to try and actually feel the transition from a young boy, college life, gets into college politics, but loves to hang out. I saw in some of those rare pictures, and his book is also there, where a Yogi Ji said, I call him Yogi Ji now, but that time he's Ajay, and he's sitting with his friends. बड़ा स्टाइल से बैठे हैं अपने यार दोस्तों के साथ एकदम वो and you pointed it. I'm trying to open it in a bit. But how was it to try and feel that transition for yourself?
I think that's the joy of doing any biopic because there's such like high degree of reality in that. It's not only a fictitious character. So every moment that I was performing was with this awareness that has a man has really gone through all these emotions, and that actually probably increases the degree of intensity and emotion that you feel at the time of performance. So yeah, it was all very intense. Like, for example, the mother's confrontation with Guru, or Ajay's own choice of renouncing the word and taking sannyas, in spite of the fact that there could have been a bright modern career in front of him because he was graduate. He was like how Shantanu explained at once that he had done a complete modern education. Like, he was part of a modern education system. And then later on, he gave up on that and became part of a Vedic education system. So, and these are such two like very varied streams. And I thought, wow, what a...
Well, I just opened up the book and I'm pointing to Ajay or Yogi Ji as he was with a bandana in college, and there's somebody with a sombrero and a guitar in front of him, and he's sitting here, and this is him with those glasses. And then this is him when he was in Uttarakhand, when he was a young boy, Yogi Adityanath. And after that, then the transition happens where the ceremony is there. Paresh Rawalji is playing Mahant Avaidyanath. A very intense role and not easy.
It does. Like I think every single moment, and even when I used to hear it, and then when I used to get all these photos from Mutt, thanks to Shantanu ji, like he just opened this whole library of those archival memories and documentations. So like it really used to give me chills, and even now when I see that, I used to feel, wow, like renouncing the world is not an easy task.
ये बाबा बैठ गया वाला कौन सा वाला सीन है ये बाबा कहाँ बैठे थे आनंद?
So बाबा बैठ गया मतलब इनका एक बड़ा आइकॉनिक एक एक्ट है wherein it's an act of being stubborn or being very, very sure that this is what I want, and then he sits there up until a job is done. So I think.
So that scene, is it the elephantiasis to try and fight?
Exactly, Japanese encephalitis, JES.
Encephalitis. Yeah. Sorry, Japanese encephalitis. So is it that fight? Because for 6-7 years as a parliamentarian, he kept raising it non-stop in Parliament. I remember.
I remember when the topic came. Remember in 2017 when he became the chief minister and some kids died. A lot of journalists was not able to even pronounce Japanese encephalitis. It was quite a tongue twister, right? And say, "Arey, Yogi ji ne karai kya?" Then they realized that this guy is asking this question in every parliament session as a parliamentarian because the state government was not helping him. And as soon as he became the chief minister, he made Japanese encephalitis immunization as a part of the routine immunization. And today, even UNICEF and WHO both has taken his model to Africa. And Yogi Adityanath is quoted there. WHO to UNICEF lauded him, gave him a loud shout out that how he eradicated such a thing which is existing from 3-4 decades. So it's not normal. And when you talk to him of JES, in fact I tell, if you want to, अगर आपको appointment मिला है Yogi Adityanath से and you want to elongate it कि 10 मिनट का 20 मिनट का, just tell him वो Japanese encephalitis ऐसा थोड़ा, and he will tell you as almost like a public health professional.
No, because he was. I remember even before Yogi Adityanath became Yogi Adityanath or became a chief minister contender in Parliament, there was a very spirited speech. Nobody was listening, and he was standing there, and it caught my attention when I was at work, and I saw who's this person who's standing there and talking Japanese encephalitis in Uttar Pradesh and saying nothing's being done, and it was something which also brought the health quotient and the graph of Uttar Pradesh way down because of the number of deaths because of this disease. So that transition from a student to a politician and an aggressive one who was part aggressive, part of the Hindu Vahini, Yuva Vahini, and then finally toning down because he's now chief minister. How easy, difficult was it, Anand? You've done a lot of work, so was this one of your most difficult roles to essay, or did you identify with the character so much that it came to you?
I think the difficulty for any actor is only up until once that the struggle is to just get to a point wherein you could be honest and truthful or understand where the character is coming from. Once you get there, then I think you follow the honesty. Like for example, in this case, I knew what drives Mr. Yogi Adityanath. So once I got it that this is his drive, then I think that everything else became, almost a response to everything. And so his anger, what we see as an anger now, I think he has an amazing sense of humor. I haven't seen somebody with that great sense of humor. Like in his interviews, he's so candid and he's so, I would say not so, he may not be always politically correct when he says it, but he's very, he's not trying to be a diplomatic there. Like he's not trying to be diplomatic in any of his interviews. But what I think this whole transition made me feel it was easier because I think I just followed the truth and I just followed what drives him and what still drives him. I think it was easier.
Well, Shantanu has been chronicling Yogi ji for a long time. There's a interesting comic also that he's released, which is favorite among the kids. But Ravindra ji, I quickly want to ask you, which was the most toughest scene to shoot?
The mother scene. That the part of which that you have seen in the trailer, that was one of the toughest scenes to shoot because it was a very emotional scene for the mother. It's just giving away your son, and I think for any mother, that's the most difficult part. And we actually, for an actor also, it is very difficult because when you have to emote, those real emotions are very hard to come if you retake. So we had 3-4 cameras and close-up, masters, everything was there so that she emotes. And she did it in one take. And I'll tell you once, even after I said cut, there was silence for 30 seconds. People were crying.
Because it hit them. I told you, that one frame stayed with me out of that entire trailer. And this whole track of Baba Baith Gaya, also I heard it in the background, amazing music, because this picture में romance तो है नहीं, तो कहीं तो intensity आएगी और वो intensity comes from this from essaying Mahan. But चलिए देखिए, this conversation is a trailer. Full picture के लिए you will have to come to our studio. So I am extending that invitation to you, Anand. Spain से लौटिए जल्दी. Ravindra ji, all the best. Please do join us. And Shantanu, I look forward to you and the rest of the cast. Nirahua is also there. Paresh ji is there. We'd like to speak to all of them who are all part of Ajay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Look forward. Thank you. Namaste.
Co-presented by... This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
BJP attacks Rahul Gandhi over his vote theft claim. Says Rahul Gandhi's international vote theft busted his evidences were not made in India. They were created in system set to Myanmar time zone. Who is the foreign hand behind Rahul Gandhi is a question being asked by the BJP. They further say that the metadata reveals vote chori PPT was not made by Congress in India. It was first created in Myanmar. Let me go back to my colleague Arun Dhata on this. Arun, that's a big allegation that is coming in from the BJP at this point, saying that as far as the presentation of vote chori by Rahul Gandhi is concerned, that was not done by Congress party, but there's an external force, an international force behind it.
Well, see, once again, the same point with which BJP has been speaking about Rahul Gandhi is that there is an international hand behind Rahul Gandhi and the Congress party. There is a toolkit which is working. And once again, they are saying that it has been exposed in that press conference which Rahul Gandhi did on 7th of August this year, where he, raised questions about Election Commission and also said that there is a massive vote theft which happened in the country. When he specifically cited an example of a seat in Karnataka, and then of course goes on to speak about Maharashtra and Haryana. And in that regard, now what BJP is alleging is that Rahul Gandhi has done international vote theft, which is part of that international toolkit. They are saying that the PDF files which Rahul Gandhi showed there in that press conference, which is also available on his website, has generated in Myanmar. So they are saying that they have checked the metadata of those PDF files which are there, and those metadata of the PDF file shows that it was generated in Myanmar. It was the time zone of Myanmar where it is generated. These are the allegations.
Arun, I request you to please stay with us, as I'm now joined by BJP leader Shehzad Poonawala on this broadcast. Many thanks, Mr. Shehzad Poonawala, for joining with us. Why does the BJP think that the presentation was made in Myanmar?
It's very clear from the investigative work done by one of the people on social media that how the metadata of the 3 PDF documents which are uploaded by Rahul Gandhi's team have been created in Myanmar. Now the question is that dialogue Rahul Gandhi ने मारा यहाँ पर क्या script विदेश में लिखी गई है क्या? This metadata cannot be changed because Adobe and Google Drives are used, so you can't change it. This is allocated from the system. So the question is that every time Rahul Gandhi brings up an agenda, why is it sponsored by foreign powers or foreign outsourced locations? We know that during parliament sessions, Soros-based reports were quoted to stall parliament sessions, whether it was Hindenburg, whether it was on vaccines or on other issues. Then we know that Rahul Gandhi goes abroad and he says that, look, India's democracy is over, you must intervene. He has done this on multiple occasions, berating Indian institutions on foreign soil. And now, what we are seeing in our neighborhood, look at that and look at the fact that Rahul Gandhi raises this bogey against our constitutional institutions, and the material is supplied from outside. So Rahul Gandhi, who has immense faith in Videsh and Videshi, who's often found in Malaysia instead of in Punjab and other places, today the question to him is कि क्या डायलॉग आपका स्क्रिप्ट कहीं और की, एक्टिंग आपका डायरेक्शन कहीं और की, राहुल गांधी के पॉलिटिकल इंटरनेट कनेक्शन का वाईफाई कहीं और से जुड़ा हुआ है क्या, राहुल गांधी के पीछे ये फॉरेन हैंड कौन सा है, ये बताना चाहिए.
But Shehzad, not the first time that the BJP is alleging this, that there is an international link to Rahul Gandhi and George Soros. So why is it that the BJP is not investigating into it? Because Congress time and again has been in fact saying that these allegations are nothing but baseless.
No, Congress should come out first of all and categorically deny this allegation. They've not done that, point number one. Point number two, when Rahul Gandhi makes all kinds of claims against the Election Commission, he refuses to give it to the affidavit to the Election Commission. On point number three, we have asked that why don't you provide this SIR or the other evidence of Bihar in the Supreme Court? That also they failed to do. And just now you see Madras High Court has rejected all the claims made by Rahul Gandhi in his PowerPoint presentation. In fact, it has fined the petition practitioner. In Maharashtra also, whatever claims Rahul Gandhi is making, Supreme Court junked it. So Rahul Gandhi is on a credibility test. He has to prove his credibility. He has to show that his connections are not linked. And time and again, Shedin, you know that Rahul Gandhi has gone on foreign soil and has demanded intervention into India's internal affairs and thereby challenged our sovereignty. Has he not said that I want to fight Indian state? Has he not said US and UK are not intervening into India's democracy? Has he not said that Indian democracy institutions have totally collapsed on foreign soil? Has he not said this? He has said all of this. So he constantly always plays on a foreign agenda. It is quite evident.
All right. Many thanks, Shehzad, for joining with us and sharing your perspective. Let me now go back to my colleague Arun Dhata on this. Arun, are we expecting a full-fledged press conference on this allegation by the BJP today? All right. We lost...
Good evening, you're watching Brass Tacks. I'm Zaka Jacob. There is now a full-blown war of words between the Congress and the BJP over Rahul Gandhi's allegations of vote chori. Now the BJP has dug out the timestamp from the PDF document which Rahul Gandhi used and presented and talked about the voter rolls discrepancy in the Mahadevpura constituency in Bengaluru. He had that press conference a few weeks ago. The BJP has dug out the PDF document which showed the voter rolls. The BJP has basically come up with the original time and location stamp from that PDF document, claiming that that document, the metadata of that PDF document, actually shows a Myanmar time zone, MMT. The BJP is also saying that this is yet another proof that Rahul Gandhi is acting at the behest of foreign powers and that the document itself came from outside. The Congress has hit back saying that Adobe software, whether it's PDF documents or Illustrator software or any other software, it picks up time and time zones from whichever source it is fed from. It is not foolproof. It can be mistakenly undertaking the user's system time, or it can even be edited and morphed and manipulated using VPN and other hacking software. The question is, who is lying and who